Good morning, YouTube. Let's see. Last few months, I've kind of been struggling with getting up at what I call a good time. And of course, that's different for everybody. It depends on what you do for work, the hours you work, so on and so forth, so many other things. For me, it's 4 o'clock that I've been trying to wake up at. Now, this used to be pretty easy to do up until about 6 months ago. I used to work in an industry where I had to be at places at 7 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes I'd have to leave at 4 in order to get there. But for whatever reason, about 6 months ago, if I'm honest, I feel like I was just started getting lazy. And also, the other thing that makes it a little bit more difficult for me is I make my own schedule, and if I don't have any place that I actually have to be, it's harder for me to get up. And that's why I say it's a laziness thing and a motivation, discipline thing. The other side of it too is I do what I can to be healthy, and I recognize that getting the appropriate amount of sleep is part of that, one of the most important parts of it. So, like probably many of us, I've been calculating, okay, I need to be getting up at 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock and counting back 8 hours. Okay, so that means I need to go to bed at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Okay, great. The problem is I would try to go to bed at that time, and especially if I actually was successful in doing that, I just sit there and toss and turn. My brain's going crazy with ideas. I should have done this, I should have done that, I didn't get to this today. And as I thought about it, along with a clip from Arnold Schwarzenegger has come up multiple times. You've all probably seen it, where he says, where he's counting off the hours in the day that everybody has and going, okay, you sleep for 6 hours, and he has a rebuttal for himself. It's like, well, wait a second, but I sleep 8 hours, and his response to that is, then sleep faster. And it kind of clicked that for me, that was a pretty accurate statement, because again, I go to bed and I'm just tossing and turning. And I was like, well, how does that work? Well, going back to Schwarzenegger's statements, he did a lot of crap that day. And even thinking on another interview I saw with somebody else, was like, bust butt all day long and make the most out of life. And it just clicked on me. It's like, the reason why I'm tossing and turning is because I still have more to give that day, and I should do so. And the second half of that is, instead of setting my alarm for when I should get up the next day, I should be getting up the next day, and that determines, between that and my level of effort, determines when I go to bed. Now, that might mean that I only get 4 hours of sleep for the next day. I may not go to bed until midnight. But you know what? That is 4 hours of quality sleep and maximizing my time. Well, so how do I reconcile that with the idea of making sure I get enough sleep? And I know I haven't talked about this yet, but that kind of comes down to the idea of, okay, how much food should you be eating, for example? And how much exercise should you get in a particular routine? And I think that really just comes down to listening to your body and getting to know your body. So let's say I get up at 4, I'm up till midnight that day, but I get a lot done. And now I can go to sleep, and I go pretty much straight to sleep. There's no tossing and turning, frustration with not falling asleep, which now keeps me up even longer. I'm out. And I only get 4 hours of sleep that night. So where or when am I going to make up that deficit? That's going to be made up when my body tells me, hey, you know what? I know it's only 8 o'clock today, but you've been pushing me kind of hard. I think we've earned a break. I think it's time. So now that's where I'm going to make it up. Just like, if I fast for a day, or one day I'm not that hungry, but the next day I am. so long as I don't overindulge, or in this case, sleep in till noon or something like that when I went to bed at 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock, I'm good. And so I've done this for a little over a week now. Today marks day 8. Has it been perfect? Have I been getting up at 4 o'clock every day? No. But instead of missing or my late start in the day being 8, 9 o'clock, 5 hours beyond when I should be getting up, my late start is 5:30, 5 o'clock. I've just gained 3.5 hours of just the morning to really be productive, to really do the things that I want to do, to get back into my workout routines, to this morning it's going to be finishing up my lawn work, and you just feel better. Feel better for throughout the day. You feel better when you go to sleep. At least I do. I don't have that sense of frustration. So that's my thought on that. Hopefully I'll be coming up, just starting to share my thoughts again. That's another part of this, is now I feel like I have something to share. I have something to give back to the world, even if it's little stupid ideas, little stupid thoughts, rantings of my own. And hopefully I have some more. I'm not planning on having hey, you know what, I'm going to post something every day or every week, every month. I hope I have something to post every week. But yeah, this is just the random ramblings of one guy. And if it helps you out, great. If it gives you an idea, great. Have yourselves a good one.